Hi, Emily here. I just wanted to come on and talk about how I'm in the process of getting a diagnosis, as I'm pretty sure I've already said. But I have had the meeting with the psychologist. I've had the assessment and it was really interesting. I thought I'd just come on here and have a little talk about it. Beforehand, everybody was very sceptical and worried. I know Lucy was particularly worried. Lucy's one of my alters. It's weird to me to be able to talk about it, but I wanted to get sort of some confirmation or at least a diagnosis before I do, because I don't want to, you know, say something that might not necessarily be true. Anyway, rambling as usual. And the sunlight's just started to come through the blinds as well, so. But basically, it's kind of changed how I feel in our head. So, we've all been pretty close for a while. I'll do like a big origin story kind of thing. How they came to be and how I've sort of always worked with them. But not having a diagnosis, I always felt, you know, part of me was like, maybe I'm faking it, maybe it's for attention, you know, all of those kind of things. But now it's like, so they've always had their own rooms in my head kind of thing, like their own space in my mind. And I've always been able to like feel if they're there or what's going on, but now it's like they still have their own rooms, but the lights have come on. It's like we're able to be in touch with each other more, because for me, having this diagnosis is like, accept it, like, yes, this is real, like, just, we're all here together, and it's like, almost like a mini celebration for us, like, that we can finally, like, move on, be happy as a group, and work together, and it's really exciting, for me anyway. Doesn't change too much, but it changes like how we feel in our mind quite a bit. And it also means that I'm more comfortable and ready to tell you guys and share more of our stories here. So the assessment was a load of questions relating to, obviously, to try and diagnose something. And what was really interesting that I found was I thought that I was, you know, I would say like, oh no, that's not how it is. But then she would sort of have to remind me that I need to answer these questions for all of us. And a lot of the questions were, have you ever experienced this? And I would say, you know, oh no, we're not experiencing that right now, but obviously she'd have to remind me, this is, have you ever experienced that? And also she'd have to keep reminding me that I'm answering these questions not just for me as Emily, but for all of us. So I had to rethink a lot of the questions. I'd have to think, you know, this isn't just me now, today, how I feel. It's have I ever experienced this, and also what does it feel like when we switch, and what does it feel like, you know, when I feel confused as to who I am, and all these kind of things. It was really interesting to think about. The other thing that was really interesting, and I won't go into too much detail because, I don't know, it just makes me slightly uncomfortable. The other thing was my youngest alter became sort of in some slight way attached to the lady giving the questions, because the lady asked her some questions. For example, she asked her how old she was. My youngest alter doesn't verbally communicate, but she asked me to, you know, hold up my hand and show her how old she thought she was. And it was sort of that communication through me. She felt safe, and she also felt talked to by this lady that I think made her feel safe, and she liked this lady. She liked how she talked to her, and she liked that she was interested in her, and when the lady said, you know, you know, this is the end of the session, like, you know, it was lovely to meet you all, it was lovely to meet you, by the youngest altar's name, and she got really, really upset, and as soon as the lady left, I couldn't, you know, I was force switched, and then she was just crying and crying and just cuddling her little stuffed toy, because she missed the lady. And she wrote in her book, because she writes to communicate sometimes, or she tries to use basic sign language that we still haven't learned properly yet, that she missed this lady. So luckily my friend who lives with us was there and was able to, you know, look after her and slowly distract her with colouring. But it was really, really hard for her to get to know somebody and like this lady, and then she was gone. And that was very unexpected. We don't really know too much about our youngest. She's sort of a bit of a, I don't know, just confusing to us. You know, with a lot of the altars that are of similar age to me, I can sort of, you know, almost walk all the way around them. Like I know all of them, I know everything about them, who they are and everything, but with my youngest it's different. Like, I don't know her fully, so that was quite a surprise. But apart from that, it was a really positive experience, and it's weirdly nice to be able to talk to people about my, you know, my altars without having to hide it and without having to feel nervous that they're not real, or, you know. So what this means is that I'm able to share more videos about my experience with DID. It's also encouraging me to share more about, you know, mental health, because I mean, ultimately that's what I want to do, you know, that's what I want to make this channel mostly, is to support people with mental health and just be another voice up there, and everybody's perspective and everybody's experience of mental health is different, and that's no different for DID. My experience of DID is very different from other people's, and that doesn't make anybody's experience any less valid. So yeah, I'm excited to share more and talk about other, you know, for example, depression, anxiety, and how that affects my life, because it might be similar for somebody else or it might be different, and it's all about, you know, sharing and experiencing, and we're all really excited. I know some of my altars are excited to make their own videos, so there's that to look forward to as well. But yeah, this is kind of the update on after that assessment, and I'm hoping that you guys want to hear more from me and more from my altars. We'll have to maybe do a video each, you know, let them introduce themselves or whatever if they want to. I don't want to use it, you know, I don't want to use my altars, you know, as like, you know, oh look, this is weird and wacky and interesting, watch this. But what I do feel is that they are excited to make their own videos, so I don't want to stop them, if that makes sense. But I don't want to come across that I'm just like, you know, trying to make my DID my thing and, you know, get attention from that. It's not about that. This is my little channel. This is my YouTube that I've just wanted to make forever, and it's just me sharing everything that I feel that I want to share, and for them to share whatever they want to share as well. So, all of that being said, all of my ramblings as usual, yeah, I hope all of you guys have a really lovely day. Thank you for watching my videos, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!